From Cincinnati, Ohio, and Bowie, Maryland, this is Behind the Bots, the podcast that brings you the stories of the people behind the bots. I'm Jake Hoffman.
And I'm Brandon Young.
And today on the podcast, WPI members, Supernova builders, Jaron and Ezekiel from WPI. If you like our show, please rate us and review us on Apple products, Google Play, Spotify, TuneIn, CastBox, Player FM, and Podbean. And follow us on our Instagram and Facebook at Behind the Bots. And tell a friend. We appreciate your support. Love coming out to the stream. Brandon, what's going on in the world of combat robotics? What's going on out there?
A lot of things, apparently. There's events all across the world. In fact, there are events happening in the US, UK, Sweden, Norway, Germany, Romania, Latvia, Italy, and Poland. Dang, it's like most of Europe right there. Yeah, they're out there. They're playing the game. Notably, the largest event in the month is the Charlotte Robot Rumble, where there'll be 82 robots in the Beta Weights, Plastic Ants, Collegiate Ants, Public Ants, and Junkbots classes. Get details on this event and more at robotcombatevents.com, buildersdb.com, and bristolbotbuilders.com. And now, our interview with Jaron and Ezekiel. Hey, guys. How's it going?
And how are you?
Doing pretty good. So I hear you went to April NHRO.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting.
We did indeed go to April NHRO.
Welcome to the podcast.
Incredible.
Welcome to the podcast, guys. So I want to talk about Supernova as it's a WPI bot. It's kind of, you guys have had 12s before, but this is the one that we've seen come back. What kind of started, what made you want to break into 12 pounders and where does this story begin?
I guess I can start. So WPI has, I guess you've mentioned it before, historically only had like one 12-pounder that's like been really visible. I think that was Teleport back in 2022. And since then, there hasn't been that many 12-pound robots. Back in 2023, after I debuted Blink, I wanted to have a robot where I worked together with more than one person. I wasn't on Waddles yet, so I wanted to build a robot with some of my friends, and the only way I could think of doing that is to build a 12-pound robot. And I floated some pictures around on Discord of like initial fork modules and other things that were like just subsections of like, or thoughts of a robot. And I didn't really get around to it. I got caught up in other things, and eventually in like late 2025, around there, I managed to get Supernova as an IS. Like, okay, you guys don't know what an ISP is, but essentially, I managed to get it spun off as class credit. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's great.
So someone mentioned on Discord at one point, I don't remember who it was, but they made a joke saying that I should get the 12-pounder as class credit. I thought about it, and I was like, wait, there's a thing called an ISP, which is an independent study here at WPI. And essentially, you can get a professor, right, that like enjoys working with you, and you can do a project that counts as a certain class. And I managed to get him I managed to get a professor to do Supernova as like a dynamics course. Okay, we're not going to get into how that works, but
okay, I thought you were going to say like manufacturing or like DFMA course, but okay.
Well, fortunately,
that was the second half.
Okay,
there's a lot of levels to this. Okay,
so there were two ISPs, but we can get into that in a minute. So the professor was like, you can have more than one person on this like ISP, right? And I messaged Jaron going like, hey, do you want to get some credits? And that's how that started. You want to talk about that, Jaron?
Yeah. So at WPI we have this thing called an MQP, which is the major qualifying project.
Yeah.
And basically, the previous year I had helped Ezekiel out with his MQP that was through the same professor, and the professor seemed to like me because I had known the slightest idea of how to program a quadcopter. And so Ezekiel hit me up and he was like, "Hey, you want free credit for building a robot?" And I was like, "Count me in. Like, are you kidding me? Free credit."
And it
Yeah,
turned out to be a
and-
lot of work, so it wasn't free at all.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we've probably spent
you guys
close to
sure
150
got
hours
him.
on
I
the
mean,
shop.
you guys scammed him. I mean, it worked. So.
Man.
We sure did.
A lot, dude.
It was a lot of work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was probably
That was
more
kind of
work than
on
it cost.
us. So this robot wasn't supposed to compete until this competition, the one that we just went to.
Okay.
But we had a full design, and we figured, oh, we can build a 12-pounder in 7 weeks, right? Totally. So we were like, all right, we're signing up for November. We sign up for November, and then hell starts, right? And you have to sit in the machine shop and slave away for like 10, 12 hours a day and figure out how to do that with classes, which is its whole separate issue entirely.
Man, so you got one class that you tried to do for free, ended up spending more time than all of your other classes put together.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
But it was a cool thing that you made.
Oh yeah, I mean it was awesome. We got like we got a completed robot at the end of the day. It got in the box. It didn't do fantastic the first time around, but it got in the box.
So
That's
before
still a lot.
before we dive into like building it for November, how is WPI structured?
In terms
go
of you
Like, how does WPI work as a club?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way our club is kind of structured is we have a set budget for the 3-pounders for the year, and that will get divided amongst X amount of builders. That is kind of that X number is figured out based on how many people, how many prospective students, how many returning students, et cetera, and then that amount gets split out to other beetles. And then for the 12 pounds and larger, the 12 pounds basically at this point run off of a system where they will ask the school for money. It's through something called a funding request, which basically comes from outside of our budget. If that doesn't get approved, then some amount of money will come from the club from within the budget to help boost what the 12-pounder gets if it doesn't get everything it needs from that funding request. And then for the 30 pounds, it's a pretty similar setup where it's basically funding requests from outside of the club, but Waddles has an initial budget that is allocated every year from the club, so it has a little bit to go off of even if stuff really goes wrong.
Mm.
So
Okay. It's still pretty cohesive, yeah.
one thing that Illinois does is they have teams for every age group. How do you guys get younger members into the sport, and how do you kind of onboard them?
Plastic ants,
Yeah,
they're awesome.
pretty much that.
The club has a deal that gets plastic ant parts for cheaper than like what you'd get from the storefront, and so that allows us to get a large amount of kits, give them out to the new members, let them explode the parts, let them get hooked, and we have a fast but not too fast schedule. I think it's been pretty good. It's usually about a month to a month and a half between competitions for new builders to get in, design a robot, explode said robot, and then make a revision.
Yeah, and I guess to give a little more detail into that, like at the beginning of the year, we like have our big like general body meeting, and then we split the first term. So WPI, I don't know if you're familiar, we do like a quarterly system where it's like 7 weeks, and then per I guess rotation of classes. So 2 terms a semester. And during the first term, we spend a lot of time doing a bunch of presentations where we teach people like what is the concept of bite, what kind of archetypes of robots exist, what kind of construction styles exist. We help people one-on-one with like design reviews for further different robots. Leading up to the competition, we hold several workshops, like soldering workshops before the competition. And we then, at the end of the term, we hold our internal plastic ant competition where we have all of those new members compete against each other, and we have an experience bracket that competes against themselves so that we don't like destroy the freshmen. And then eventually, when the winner of both of those brackets, like when we run the grand finals where we have the winner of both brackets fight each other, and that's how that goes. That's how we onboard people.
There's like a mix of it's like Honey Trials, like their open and XP they've started up. So you basically have freshmen, which is like the XP, open, which is like the normal one, with the pros. You put them together, and that's a big difference, though. That's like if you have the Coughing Baby Hydrogen Bomb kind of scenario. Like
aka Whoopsie Daisy, which is Mini Blunder versus any freshman plastic ant.
Yeah.
Awesome, baby. All right, so let's turn to. So is this the first build?
Yes. So this is the first one that we made for the independent study. I actually have the rails right here. So this was the first pair of rails that we made. I believe I made both of these.
Yeah.
Yes. And so these were, if you want to show that like super glue thing that we did, basically where you take this bottom surface and you stick it onto a piece of stock with an interface of painter's tape, super glue, and then painter's tape to your fixture plate. And then that allows us to use that sheet underneath as a spoil board so that we can cut into it without having to have any sort of like vacuum table or like it makes it a lot easier for us to do it. And that way we don't have to have any toe clamps. We can get the whole profile out all in one go. And then you just flip it over, do the features on the back, call it a day.
So what's really doing the holding is the painter's tape, not super glue itself. I thought it was super glue, like aluminum to aluminum, but you're saying that there's painter's tape in between. What sort of feeds and speeds can you get away with?
Pretty standard.
Yeah, pretty normal feeds and speeds.
Yeah.
Maybe slightly less depth of cut if you
that's a good point.
Feel like it's going to throw.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so for like slightly smaller parts like a motor mount or something like that, we generally run slower. But for something as large as the drive rail, because we don't just go bam, painter's tape, good enough. We will take the parts. If we want to be really precautious, we'll take them, put them in the mill, face them down with the face mill. And then we'll Scotch-Brite them, clean them with denatured alcohol, and then do that like 2 or 3 times, put on the tape, scrape it on with a dowel pin so we get all the air out of there, and then we super glue them together. So it's not as simple as just like painter's tape, super glue, send it.
Right.
Otherwise, parts would be getting thrown everywhere. So.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's pretty good. I like that a lot.
I've never used this before, and I'm totally jazzed to like have a part where I can justify doing this.
Have you ever had a failure with that? Has ever had it fly off once, and you're like, man, what happened there?
I know one person that does.
Oh boy. I was making a set of parts for a fellow club member, and I didn't let the super glue cure long enough, and I kind of just flung the piece. It didn't really last very long. So make sure to let the super glue cure for a full 24 hours before you try doing anything with it.
You let it sit for 24 hours? All right.
Yeah.
If we're really pushing time, we'll do like 4 hours minimum, but like usually it's go into the shop, put it in the vise for like
leave it
2 hours, take it out of the vise, and then shove it in. We have like little drawers in the shop that we can leave stuff in.
Yeah.
So
is that removal?
Initial pressure.
Oh,
is there any like removal residue when you're peeling it off, like from the painter's tape, or no?
No, not really. It kind of just comes off, and if there is any, you can scrape it off pretty easily. Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So I like it. For context, when I did throw that part, it was like 20 minutes of letting it cure, not anything crazy. So that's probably why.
But it failed
pretty good.
At the glue, not at the painter's tape.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you ended up having hard tape on board, but the two were separate.
That they were just apart. Yeah.
So okay, it's pretty good. They ever done multi-ops with that method, or is that just for first pass, like one side machining, other side doesn't change?
So most of the parts I've done that are all super glue parts, that it's just a single op that's the super glue, and then you flip it over and then do your other ops if you design your part so that you can clamp it.
I see.
I've never really done multi because I'm not sure if it would make it harder because there's no real good way to align them unless like the spoil board to the super glue part, unless you have, I don't know, some tool to line it up with.
Yeah.
Specifically.
So like because the super glue method for us is mainly just so we can get the outer contour without having to do shenanigans with pausing the op, moving toe clamps, etc., etc. The problem with like flipping it over and re-super gluing it is you'd have to take your fixture plate and like put some dowel pins in it or something like that to get it aligned perfectly. Otherwise, you're just kind of eyeballing it because like when we're putting the initial super glue on, we just take like a speed square and make it roughly square to the fixture plate and then chuck it in the vise. But for like precision stuff, it's gonna be more of an involved process.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's super cool. Fun times and very shiny. These all look very good, by the way.
Very.
Like this is made in-house WPI, but people
Yes.
have had stuff from outside machine shops which haven't looked as good as this. So it's already pretty good. Rest of the credits.
That's a compliment. Thanks.
Yeah, too bad it gets destroyed like immediately after.
Do you want to talk about the part we made in-house that shouldn't have been made in-house? Probably.
Oh, the the freaking beater bar.
Yeah, how's it like to
Yeah.
machine a beater bar?
Yeah.
It's kind of hell, honestly. That part should have been sent to China. I wanted something very difficult to do.
Did it help
maybe
you in like
that's
the
just-
grading for the class or something? Like, do you get to flex that and be like, give me an A+?
No, I got to make a beater bar.
I don't think the professor would have cared. I mean, we made a pair of drive rails and he was like praising us like we had just like cured some disease, and it was just like we're not even halfway there yet.
Man.
Yeah, no help in terms of grading. It was just, I wanted something difficult to do, and I've never machined steel before, and I was like, I want to machine steel at some point. So we went through that process, and I don't. So okay, square stock of 4140 square stock is a lot more expensive than like round stock for 4140, but obviously like you have the trade-off of money versus time spent in the shop, but we didn't have the money to spend on it, so we, instead of buying a square stock like a sane human being,
Oh no.
I bought cylindrical stock and squared it out. Yeah,
It was like
like a big late
7-inch cylindrical stock or something like that.
yeah, it was
yeah.
crazy. It was like I don't even know how much it weighed.
Man.
And I think like half of the time spent machining was just taking it from round to square and then doing it again because we got 2 cylindrical pieces of stock.
Yeah, and I messed up one of the beater bars.
No.
So it's not on my table, but you know what? I'm gonna get up and grab it.
I can explain it while he grabs it. So basically, right, there was like 10 ops or something like that.
Man.
So
Man.
well, because you gotta
square up
because
all
you
the
gotta square it
sides.
off, right?
Oh, that's
Each
crazy.
squaring op is a full op because you can
Sure.
only get half depth if it's fixtured flat down. And so at one point he got to that rectangle, I believe, and then put it in, and there was some weird like mounting geometry that made it hard to probe. And so what happened was we probed off of that bore in the center, but the problem is that bore is not centered. So our beater
Yeah.
bar was off in one direction.
So I am back. I have 2 beater bars in my hand. Well, I have 1.5 beater bars in my hand.
1.5. Oh, no.
But essentially, you have your very nice completed beater bar on this hand, and you have half a beater bar here. So I don't know how much Jaren explained it, but so here's both. One of them's still kind of square.
He said the other one didn't center properly, so it was off.
Yeah. So this, when I machined the square out this side, it like square square, but it's not really a square.
Oh, this was the rotated one.
Yeah, it was it's a rectangle. Oh yeah, we did mess up twice. Don't
I
worry about that.
explained
Oh,
the
no.
other one, the one that we ended up
explain
running.
the other one.
We'll get into that after this then.
All right, so yeah, this is not actually a square. It's like slightly rectangular. So this isn't like the length here and the length and the width here isn't the same. But I had it so that like it would have milled. Let's assume that this is Y, this is X. This orientation is correct, but I had it like this, and I forgot to mark. Like I had forgot to mark it with an arrow. So when I probed it, it's like shifted. I don't know if like the stream can pick it up, but there's like a rib in the center where it, like the entire center of the beater bar is profile shifted up or in. So it's not really savable because it'll end up being the wrong diameter. You'll see.
I see like the line there for sure. Oh yeah. I can catch
Yeah,
it.
no,
Yeah,
There's
so
like a
it was
nice
like
shift line.
it would
where
end
all
up being the
changes off.
wrong diameter, and then also the sides would have been too thin because like the sides were also different thicknesses.
Yeah, they were different thicknesses. I had to recad the thing.
Yeah, so for the actual beater bar we ran, this was the one that we probed shifted, right?
Yes, this was the one that was probe shifted.
So this one was the one that got probed shifted. And long story short, essentially we had to salvage what we could out of what we had already machined, which resulted in us going down a quarter of an inch in diameter.
Yeah, it ended up being a quarter of an inch in diameter because I had to take what was essentially the square with the square cut out of it, put it in CAD, and then CAD a beater bar into it based on the size restriction.
You had the CAD within the CAD.
No.
Yeah, I had a CAD within the CAD. And it was
no.
It was so annoying.
Oh,
Dude,
no.
so you are grinding at this for the class. You had to make something that was round to a square. You had the square shift on you, so I had to remake the square anyway. And then you had to recad the CAD. All of this requires any electronics in there.
Yes.
Dang, dude.
And so
like
while this is
5.
going on, I'm like desperately trying to tear through all the other parts of the robot because I'm like, oh god, we're not gonna have enough time to get all these parts done because he's busy with the beater bar.
Yeah, God bless this man. I don't know how we would have gotten there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, it was so much machining. I don't know how I managed it.
Yeah, you're crazy for that. It's okay. I made up for it the second time.
You made up for it the second time. The roles reversed, kind of.
Kind of.
That's teamwork, dreamwork right there.
Dude, it's great.
So here we are doing pulleys.
Yeah.
So these are all pre-November.
Those are all pre-November. Minus the
Most-
shaft.
pre-
Yeah,
And
most
that
of the
picture
pictures
too.
you have are from the first time we fought.
Okay, cool.
But it comes out very shiny though. Like it's definitely a really well machined robot. Nice TPU for the wheel guards as well.
Thank you.
Like it looks sweet. Like it's easily one of the most like what is it like shaped robots? Like it's not like a square. It's kind of like Hypershock where it has like a lot of fairly interesting shapes going on there. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. We tried making sure it wasn't a square.
We
'cause in
took a
CAD
square and we made it fancy.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Make a fancy square.
So,
Yeah.
Okay, so here's is this okay, I see what's going on here. Interesting.
we also had to machine 2 separate soft jaws on 2 different occasions.
So those are
So you made
those
it
are your,
my
even harder.
those are your
Yeah, because once you get to that point, the way we decided to do it was we decided to ball mill it from the top and bottom because none of the tools that we had were like long enough to actually get it just the whole profile out on like, the sides.
Yeah.
So the problem with that is when you flip it over to do the backside, the bottom's not square anymore. So we need custom soft jaws to like make it square.
totally.
And yeah.
Yeah. Because I've done that before where you reach an end mill down the side and it just the only reason why I could get away with it when I did it is because it was a robot with 2 spinners. And so they were both half size, right? But yeah, this is interesting how you did it with both.
Yeah, there was a club member that previously tried doing it the other way I described, and end mills kind of exploded.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, if you look at the final beater bar, there's actually like a seam halfway down where we had to come in from both directions. Because, I mean, the counterweight is, what, like 2.5 inches like tall if you put it on its side or something
Yeah.
like that. So,
How'd you heat treat it? Did you have like a kiln in house?
So, Evan from Blunder found a local, or he got passed down like the information for a local heat treating company called County Heat Treat, and they seem to really like the club, seem to be very chill with Evan, and he offered to have this thing heat treated. He actually drove me there like at 8 a.m. like 5 days before the competition.
Wow.
And we managed to get them to heat treat it within a few days, and it came out great. It's taken some crazy like hits. It's fine.
Wow. That's solid stuff. I like it.
Yes.
So viewer question, Julian asks, so you're going through all this stuff, right? What was the biggest design disagreement you guys had with Supernova, and how did you figure out, and because he's evil, who was right in the end?
Oh boy. Yeah.
we really didn't
Yeah.
have that many. I think mostly because I ended up not doing. I did very little CAD on the robot, because Ezekiel had done a lot of work leading up to before when he asked me to join the ISP. So I think it's been mostly just like minor things about how to do config this or config that.
Oh.
Sorry, Julian. It's not. There's
It
not
was-
much drama.
The answer is it was kumbaya and everything was perfect and great.
Yeah, it was pretty chill.
Yeah.
Well, you're like freaking out so much, like trying to get the robot together that it like doesn't matter. It's just like
Yeah,
okay,
I mean,
next
when
problem.
you've got a week left and your beater bar isn't done, there's not a lot of time to have disagreements, you know.
Yeah.
You could say it was forged in fire.
Oh yeah, it was. What a speed run.
What a speed run. So you did all of that. You had the beaters made right into the competition. So then, did you really make two of them, or is it just one robot? Like spares, were they an option on the table at all?
Just one of them. No, we had no space the first time around.
There was
We had-
the
We
Supernova.
had like a single spare motor mount or something like that was it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so your first fight doesn't exist on Breadstone.
Someone took a video of it in the club. It's on YouTube somewhere, but yeah, we fought Blackjack first. I was really worried going into that fight because I mean, you don't know what to expect. It's a brand new robot. You just finished it. You have no spares, so if you take any damage, you're kind of fucked. And you never know what to expect.
One thing, a big issue that we had encountered before the event, we completely skimmed over this. The ESC, we had originally received
Oh yeah, bro.
a Flycolor 120 as like a hand-me-down from someone, but it was like mostly brand new, and it had BL Heli on it. And when we tried to spin the weapon motor, it got so hot so fast that we just went, "This isn't gonna work." And we freaked out because it's like, I don't know, it was like Tuesday or something like that. And we're like, what are our other options? And literally the only other option we have at this campus was a Vesk from Waddles. And
Waddles.
so we put the Waddles Vesk
Got
in the
it.
robot and we started spinning it. And we went, uh-oh, the robot's not spinning as fast as it should be. Turns out we are 100,000 ERPM over the limit of a Vesk. So we're at
Over the
like,
limit.
over the limit. So
Yeah.
we're at
Oh
like
my
I think we were
God.
at like 230,000 out of 150,000
Oh my
ERPM
gosh.
or something like that.
I didn't know they were that
So
slow.
we were so poorly throttle limited because we couldn't have another solution in time.
God.
Like the ESC could not think fast enough to make it spin faster. It couldn't time
Exactly.
itself. That's so funny and sad at the same time.
For context, this robot at the time was geared for 400 miles an hour.
That's on you though. That what
That
the
is
heck?
on me.
That's on you though.
That is on you. So
know.
your first event is November. It goes okay, but the biggest thing is you got the robot in the cage. Like,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
So how did you feel after that, and like what made you want to like come back and like keep bringing it back? Was it just sunken cost at this point?
Well, no, I mean the robot was very fast. It had a lot of potential in the test box. I don't know. I just thought it like deserved another go because there were a lot of things that could just get fixed if we had more time, and I wanted to put a little more time and care into the robot to make sure that it like had a proper like I guess proper first event, not really first event, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, right.
It was very mechanically sound. I mean, I think very little changed mechanically from first to second event. We just changed like the material of a few things, but other than that, it was. I mean, all of our like belt tensions and everything like that were great. It was just kind of we got really unlucky with the timing that we had
because we gave ourselves 7 weeks to make the robot.
Yeah,
I mean,
we did it to ourselves.
We did.
Yeah.
We were the
That
enemy
was our
all along.
we were the timeline.
Yeah, so like right now we have the match, or we had the match against That's a Lot of TPU, and that was pretty rough.
Yeah.
So like you were mentioning before, the spinner was a whole thing. It was difficult because of the speed. Was that a big point that you were seeing in the beginning? Like, were you able to still do stuff with the weapon, even with the ERPM limit going in?
I mean, we were able to initially spin up, but if we were like to want to self right, like off the floor, like with the weapon hitting the floor, we probably couldn't do it because the weapon probably couldn't get up to speed. So if you notice watching That's a Lot of TPU fight, when we get upside down, we just kind of die in the water. Like it tries to get up, but it just can't.
Yeah, there were some issues with the VESC. Basically, a VESC, the motor controller has it's like 3 censored modes. There's 3 different modes. There's a completely uncensored mode. Then there's a mode that uses a physical Hall effect sensor, and then a mode that uses like smart sensing. And no matter what we did, Connor, who is like the person on our team that really knows the most about VESC, we couldn't get any real torque out of the VESC at low speed for some reason that we just could not figure out. And so the weapon was super lethargic on spin up.
And
that's rough.
It was definitely mostly because of the VESC, because it's in theory this robot's using a like TP power 3640, which is pretty large compared to a lot of other robots. Like I think Psycho runs a TP 29, or was it? I don't know the specific. It's like a 29 series motor.
Yeah,
like
it's smaller than this one.
Yeah, it's like a 36 series motor or something, and it's geared for like hella torque. So it shouldn't really
technical term.
Yeah, it's like it shouldn't really have torque issues, but it did because the VESC couldn't spin it up.
That's annoying.
Yeah, and so that was one of the first things we tried like fixing as soon as we wanted to run the robot again.
Yeah, the first thing we went was, hang on, somebody said there's an AM32 target for the fly color ESC. Let's put that on. We can change the pole count. It won't get hot. And we put it on. It took very little effort. Evan, who's my other roommate, just had an ST link, flashed the ESC to AM32. We tuned it, and it just had copious amounts of torque and spin up. I mean, we had enough torque to like climb a kick plate with the weapon. It was insane.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Allegedly.
Well, no, I mean we did it at Norwalk.
Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah, I guess you got it to the fight eventually. Okay, so after we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we will talk about Supernova's experience at NHRL, the drama that was going on behind the scenes. I want to know all about it because it was like 20 people scrambling over a robot, and I want to know the full story. So, all right, thank you guys. We'll be back in a minute. And we are back with Supernova. I'm getting a little bit of echo. One moment.
It still says intro, bro.
Should I? Okay. April NHR. Okay, we'll save that one out. All right. And we're back with Supernova. So let's go into April NHRL. You got the robot. We've got the weapon spinning for the first time. It's working well, and your first fight is here with FTP. What's going through your head going into this?
So, I guess to preface this, we weren't supposed to fight FTP first. We were supposed to fight a robot called Bonk, which was a two-wheel drive-powered drum/beater. So, if you want to think noob tube, essentially that. But they had some problems getting into the cage, and they forfeited their first fight. So, we got to fight FTP, and This is a match. We got to fight Drew again. It's always nice to see him in a cage, and it was a little scary because this robot is a lot bigger than Blackjack, and not an ideal form factor for Supernova to fight at all. So it was a little worrying getting into the cage, and I was a little worried into this match that I would just lose weapon-to-weapon engagements.
Yeah.
FTP is looks like largely plastic /TPU. So it's got the big fat TPU fork in the front. I think its front end is wider than Supernova is long.
It's not even close. It's kind of insane.
Yeah,
so it's like 30 size compared to Supernova is what you're kind of alluding to.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, that big comb, and well, not particularly a comb, but those 4 big prongs in the front. I was just super scared of them, that he would just be able to turn into me no matter whatever I did. But we managed to win the first 2 weapon-to-weapon exchanges, and in those weapon-to-weapon exchanges, I decided to follow through on the second exchange, and it's really hard to catch on stream. But we went through it. We went through one of the camera angles, and we found that FTP on the second engagement jumped up, landed. What was it on top? of the heat sink.
If you imagine both robots like this, Supernova hits FTP and it bounces up, and we're following through, and FTP comes down perpendicular on top,
crazy,
and gets a cut straight across the weapon motor.
That's crazy.
I know.
Gosh, robot combat is nuts. Go on.
It's one of the most insane hits I've ever seen, and so it lands on top, just obliterates the motor. I mean. Jake has a picture of it, of just the front face of the motor and the back face of the motor are no longer parallel to each other.
There's like a mountain in it.
Yeah, it's
like buckled
by FTP coming down and cutting through the motor faceplate and just punching it into itself, and it explodes everything related to it.
So that's why the belt.
It was 3 hits in that hit. Is insane. You got
the pop up, the big punch, and then a landing.
You got the heat sink, the front plate, and then he sniped the belt all in one go.
Oh my god! What is this? Was that So I guess to go with that, it's like when you decided to put the weapon motor up there with like unenclosed, was that a concern you had in mind, like the idea for like
Yeah,
a
that
cap
was
or something for it?
that was just definitely a concern. But we did not design a guard for it. That may change.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. We're kind of back and forth. It depends on how much heat we're generating in the future. Because I mean, clearly based on those heat sinks, like we're generating too much heat with the weapon motor. But that's also because we're still geared for 400 plus miles an hour. So hopefully
Jeez.
fixing that will fix
Yeah.
our heat generation a little bit.
So
So then in that case, going on with the rest of the fight. So FTP is having a little bit of drive issue, but has weapon. You have great ride, but no weapon now. So then how does it feel going from like beater bar bot to pretty much control bot?
I'm not really used to driving control bots at all. And the shape of this robot doesn't really help me. It likes to, well, I like to overturn a lot when driving this. You'll notice I do that a lot.
yeah.
And I was a little worried because his spinner hits pretty hard, and he just has those 4 forks in the front. I was worried that like I could try getting around him, but that he would just turn into me, scoop me, and eventually hit me, and I would be dead in the water. But which he managed to do. And when we called the unstick, he just stopped functioning. I'm not sure quite what happened there, to be honest. But yeah, we managed to get the win off of that.
So it's your first 12 pounder. What was your goal going into the event?
That's all it takes. You survived, and that's what you need.
Yeah.
And then begins the we'll call it an atrocity of a repair day.
They didn't hear me.
For
Oh
Supernova.
my God.
Because once
I
again,
realized that
despite
we
our
needed this
past
whole time.
experiences, we didn't bring any spare parts. Well, we made a spare part, but one of those spare parts that we needed happened to be still at WPI. So
Yeah.
the aftermath of that fight and essentially ended up in the whole weapon mount and weapon like front plate all being completely crumpled with no spare parts except for I think we had a spare faceplate and then another spare faceplate that wasn't compatible. No back motor support. And
If you'll
so
notice, oh yeah, you can keep going.
so basically what happens is we take it all out and we go, we don't have any butt supports. And then
But we do have 2 front plates. And they happen to be compatible.
yes.
So
At the same time, I have taken the robot front plates, like the large plate that spans across, which has been crumpled into what looks like an earthquake fault line, and I get that out of the robot, and I'm going to the shop to straighten it out, and I just see Ezekiel, Dawn, and Claire, and Ezekiel's got this big drill, like one of the biggest drill bits I've ever seen, and he runs it through the faceplate, and then he just pulls the drill out and goes, next size, and gets an even larger drill bit and just keeps going straight back in to drill it out bigger.
Yeah, I went through every single size drill bit that they had at NHRL trying to bore a hole through the center of the faceplate of the spare plate so that the phase wires in the back can actually come out of it and go down. And then I ended up going through every single size. I think I remember requesting like the next size up, and Claire looks at me and was like, "That's all they have. There's no more."
You platinum HRL drill.
While this is happening, I've got the robot front plate in a vise, and basically we have some pocketing at the top where the motor mounts, and it's been hit and parallelogrammed inwards, and so I'm trying to unparallelogram it so that we can get the front and the back plate parallel to each other. And so I've got like a matte gas torch and this like, I don't even know, like 2 foot long rod for some reason, because it's the only thing we could find, punching on the inside of the pocket with a hammer while it's hot, trying to punch the pocket outwards. And it was just a mess. We ended up like just having to ream the holes out because the holes were destroyed, and just I can't believe it was parallel.
So it was such a small hit, but this set the tone for the whole day of like the robot is just like it gets hit once and then it like all hell breaks loose.
Yeah,
Is,
pretty
is
much.
that, is that how it was going?
Yeah.
Yeah, he managed to hit the one part of the robot you don't want to get hit at all.
This is the canon event. Like this is Spider-Verse. Like, all right,
Definitely.
boys, you can't go back from this. It just like sends you down the line.
And what was your goal going into the event? I mean, did you expect that you needed to qualify? I mean, what or did you just want to take it out for for fun? Is
I
that
wanted to make a round of 16.
Okay. So
I think we just
16.
wanted to roof some people.
Yeah, pretty much.
I respect that.
I don't think we expected it to make it that far. But after it started making it that far, we kind of locked in and we're like, okay, I guess we're taking this all the way.
I guess we got to be good now.
And locked in for the ride.
All right, so these are my boys, very close to my heart. Rage Bait. They built this at UC's shop.
So
Sorry,
leading
bro.
into the, every fight's got to build
Yeah.
up to it. Every fight's got to build up.
Okay.
Leading into this fight. Oh no. Okay. Go back to the Sunday before the competition. We get everything together. The robot is egregiously overweight with the wedge, like 100 and something grams overweight.
Mm.
We're like, well, we gotta figure out where to pull this weight from, and this is when I'm like actively like just suffering. So I'm like, okay, Ezekiel, here's XYZ idea, and then we just kind of go through it. We show up to the competition. I don't think twice about it. The robot is in weight. It's only like 20 grams overweight with the wedge. We'll find out later that we have in fact put the hollow shaft on the robot instead of the solid shaft, which is significantly weaker. And we find that out in the torrent fight, which we'll get to. But essentially, the wedge was still like 40 or something like that grams overweight. And so I've spent the past hour with the wedge on the bench grinder, just absolutely mutilating it to try to cut 40 grams out of this huge titanium wedge, like the biggest wedge I've ever seen. And I'm just shooting sparks. I'm pretty sure the Rage Bait guys like saw me off in the corner, just like literally melting the rubber mat under the bench grinder with just the titanium I was grinding off.
So that's actually pretty funny because the Rage Bait guys. So in my day job, I'm a machinist at University of Cincinnati. So these guys set up their robot, Rage Bait, and they can weigh 18 pounds because they're a walker.
Mm-hmm.
Here they are weighing it in for the first time, and they weighed, I think it was 19.5 pounds the first time they weighed it. So they were a full pound and a half over. So they spent like 2 days. I don't know if you can see this, but like grinding this entire area off, like
that's
on the
what
corner.
That is.
Yeah,
they ground the
dude.
shell itself.
It was insane. I had to sweep up a pound and a half of grinder dust off my floor after they were done.
Dude.
All these holes. You see all the holes in the self-riding
tube.
Speed holes.
Yeah, dude, it was insane. This clamp here had 5 bolt holes, and then it went down to 4. Which hindsight, that didn't fail. So yeah, dude, the self-riding stick cracks me up because it looks like a Swiss piece.
I can't believe it's threaded on.
Yeah. So this is them weighing it in after like a day and a half of grinding at 18.2. So that's funny that you had that. Your 40 grams is really cute.
So it was a shared college experience.
Yeah.
Like
This is
two
just how
college
it is.
teams both cutting weight. They're like, dang, all right. I guess we got to mutilate the robot.
They called Supernova up to weigh at the table, and I was like, okay, that means I've got 2 more minutes, and I just went absolutely to town on the bench grinder while Ezekiel's like getting all the bolts ready so we can just shove it on the robot.
Yeah, because the front ends weren't even, the like mounts weren't on the robot at all. They were like back at the pit table, so I had to rush back and get them, and we couldn't get all 5 bolts. You'll notice that there's like a few missing on the wedge itself. We managed to get those on, and it got in the box.
Well, congrats on that.
My
Looks
beloved
good.
Rage Bait.
I was so scared that thing was gonna tear the wedge off.
Yeah, we were pretty worried about it because we had softwood inserts that go in the back, and they just would not stay. We would put the screw through it, and instead of screwing into the insert would just go bye and just run away out the back of the wedge mount.
Yeah, I thought that like as soon as like rage bait would hit us, that like the wedge would just pop off, like all the inserts would pull out. But I don't know. God's strongest like mount, I guess. It just kind of worked.
You were the favorite for the day.
I guess so.
By
here
the
you-
way, the
Go ahead.
bandsaw cleats on rage bait are such an interesting idea.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're
I
awesome.
wish they used a wooden bandsaw blade for the wooden floor. You know.
That'd be a good
yeah,
idea.
yeah. The problem, the wooden bandsaw blade weighed too much because it was like thick and wide, and so it's a metal bandsaw blade because it's like a thinner set of teeth. So that was, I think that's why they did that.
I see.
But yeah. The only thing that was bad about it was they super glued the cleats onto the UHMW. So they like they slotted it, and the super glue just did not bind to the UHMW. So there's a picture floating around somewhere of you guys hitting rage bait and it going up into the air, and then there's like 2 or 3 cleats that are like, flying behind it that look hilarious. So yes, they did work for a time. I think like the refinement of that idea is like somehow clamping those in position, mechanically.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it's-
rage
it
bait's
was
terrifying.
It was a super smart idea.
It looks
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah, and
But you did crumple the shell a bit.
yeah, the shell was crumpled after this fight. So after this fight, they took it to the hydraulic press and gave it to Ed, and apparently Ed was cackling as he flattened it back out. They came to me, they're like, yeah, that guy is really, he's interesting.
Ed,
You haven't gone to NHRL.
he's-
You need to meet Ed first.
he's one of the most machinists of all time.
Yeah. Ask Ed about his garage. He'll stun lock you about his garage
Hell yeah.
for like an hour and a half. I've hit a midday stun lock and I'm like, oh wow, are my batteries charged for my next fight?
Speaking of your fights, you
Oh,
were also
yeah.
at this tournament, Jake.
I was at this tournament. We'll talk about it a little bit. I did fine.
All right. Okay.
Let-
All right.
I'd like to share my first fight because this unfortunately will make,
Oh.
I think it will make the top fastest knockouts. Because the
That's going crazy over this one.
Yeah, the count out started instantly. So this one was
Oh, it's
very
not
sad,
moving.
but I'm glad that Hot Dog made it to the box for their
Was
next
Hot
fight.
Dog supposed to be a multi-bot?
Yes.
Oh,
It's a 7-pound, 8-pound flame, something like that. It's basically mini Kazaa in short.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like in the photo
But,
for
like-
its profile, actually, you see 2 robots. It was definitely supposed to
Yeah.
be, but I think they just got cooked. Cooked.
So the
Um,
max lore for this event was building the motors. So I've been meaning to make a video about the drive system and its many iterations that it's gone through in the past, like it's been 2 years since I made a video. So what I wanted to do after what failed in November was the motor came off the back plate of the gearbox. So there's those like 4. Let me find a photo. Oh wait, that's the wrong November. There's those 4 M3 screws that. Sorry, I've fought for a long time, man. It's all blurring together.
Yeah,
Just
you
like me.
you fought
Yeah,
for
together. So
long time.
yeah, okay. So yeah, here's what failed in November against Touring.
Oh.
It wasn't; these didn't shear, but they stripped. And so my theory is like that motor just clicking back and forth. Aluminum has a fatigue limit, so when you're switching back and forth and loading those threads over and over and over again, you're gonna wear them out, and then eventually it's gonna take an impact. And these screws didn't fail, but they stripped. So you can see the threads are gone on that. So the solution to that
I see.
was that I would integrate the motor and the gearbox. This is something that they do on the 3-pounders, and this is something that Zoe's going to be doing with her gearboxes soonish.
Spoiler.
So is that a spoiler? I
Yeah,
think I shared that
I
with
don't
other
think
people.
she's-
so.
I don't. think she's announced it quite.
I don't.
That might be a spoiler.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry
Okay,
about it.
don't worry about that. Zoe's been thinking about this. Zoe was thinking about this at the same time that I was.
Support growing stems. They're pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah. So I reached out to Lucian from Badass, and I was like, hey, I need to get the motors disassembled because I tried to remove this coil myself, and it just like didn't work out. So I'm like, I need to get the coils. So he was like, yeah, no problem. And I'm waiting. I'm like, I'd like to fight it February. You know, it doesn't really happen. So, you know, and I wish I could like the stress is like building up. And then like after Chinese New Year, I'm like, okay, let's lock this down. Let's actually get these on order. I got the bases machined. Shout out Husky Machining. They did the bases for me. I didn't do them because I don't have a 5-axis, and they kind of needed a 5-axis for all the operations. So that made me confident in what I had. And so flash forward like a month, I'm still waiting. There's a lot of waiting involved here. And I'm like, hey, Lucian, are these going to come before April or April NHRL, like late March? He's like, we can do it. I'm like, okay. Like a week before the competition, I'm like, hey, what are we doing? And he's like, they'll be here next Friday. I'm like, great. I'm like, that's plenty of time. That's still a week before the comp. I'm like, okay. Friday comes around. He's like, they're not here yet. I'm like, dude, what's going on? So I went ahead and I just epoxied. These are the old motors, and I JB welded them to the back because I'm like, I gotta have some sort of plan. Like if this goes like totally sideways, right? And so I did that over the weekend, and then I came in on Monday. I gave him a call. I'm like, you know, where are these at? He's like, they're on weather delay. I'm like, no way.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, I'm like, where are you located? He's like, Michigan. I'm like, okay, I'll drive to Michigan. I'll get them. I'll build the motors, and then I'll take them immediately to NHRL. And he's like, okay, I'll let you know as soon as I have them. They don't arrive until Wednesday. I leave for the competition on Thursday. So I'm like, all right, fine. I'll just drive to Michigan directly, pick up the motors, and then drive straight to NHRL. So I hit the road here I am at 5 a.m. So I'm leaving Cincinnati, Ohio at 5 a.m. I get there. That's Mr. Lucian from Badass Motors. Look how happy I am.
He's revealed.
That is the front of Innovative Design. It's like a garage. If you're wondering what this place looks like, it's like a shack, like in the middle of Michigan. It's like not obvious what it is. These are emails. So I'm in the car. I'm like, great. These are gonna go together perfect. I'm looking at them and I'm like, I should like try to put the can together, right? Like the magnet, right? I should look at how this works together. And I'm looking around for them, and I left. I had been driving for about 45 minutes, and I stopped to get gas, and I realized I left without the can. So I had to turn all the way back around. So it took me 15 hours to get from Cincinnati, Ohio to Norwalk, Connecticut. And here is me and Gwen Thursday night building the motors, exhausted, but they came out beautiful, and I didn't have a single one fail during the event. So I'm super stoked about that. So that was Maximizer's event. Summary was just getting these motors built. We epoxied we epoxied the bearings in, and then I came in, what was it, Friday morning. We went a little ham with the old green Loctite, and we green Loctited all the bearings shut. So I had to go through and replace all the bearings, but that was like the easiest thing after 15 hours in the car. So there you go. That was Maximizer's event, and then and then we did okay. So So wait, back to Supernova. Okay, sorry. That was a rant.
No, you're all good, bro.
I gotta calm down. Good. That was a rant.
Building the story up. We're building the story up.
Building the story up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it back. So you fight Torrent, and I'm looking forward to fighting Torrent because It's a rematch, and I just spent all the time building these drive motors to beat Torrent. So I'm kind of cheering for Torrent in this fight. See, I brought it back. Crazy rant. All right, so what are you thinking about going into this fight?
I'm scared out of my mind, honestly, because this thing is insane. Torrent is not a robot that like you take lightly at all. It hits like a semi truck, and I honestly, I was a little worried that like I would just lose all the weapon to weapon exchanges against it. But we managed to go head to head one time. It seems to have evened out. At 20% like weapon speed, my robot likes to like gyro over. So it like spun all the way down. I flipped myself over, and we tried to self-right. And this robot isn't mixed like my 3-pounder is, like on the transmitter at all. So I don't like on my 3-pounder. I have like a thing that like lowers the drive speed for me or the weapon speed for me, so that I can self-right a little better. But I don't have any of that mixing on Supernova, and you can tell because it just can't get up. It just can't.
You both spent a great deal of time being inverted. Nothing like Torrent like figured out. What if I just attack them while inverted and see what happens?
He managed to bump me up in such a way that I could just like wiggle my way back and forth, back up right.
If it looks like you got the whole drive side on Torrent, so like now it's got one side and weapon, but you just killed the weapon, and you are, well, I guess not, maybe not, and you're now inverted, and you just, oh my god,
Absolutely,
you sniped the iPhone, and then you sniped the iPhone in the corner.
Oh yeah,
you got yourself stuck. Oh my god.
We have Ezekiel and I have met and discussed that we need to talk about his follow through problem.
So yeah, I need to like learn to back off when I hit things like that. So
Perfect shot.
The main problem was I was so scared of Torrent. I thought that like any chance I gave him to like come back up and hit me, like the match was over. So I wanted to end the match there, and I tried to get him on the follow up where if he like fell down, I wanted to get another hit on him, but I just missed and hit the kick plate.
Yeah, so you end up in like an almost double knockout kind of situation. Because now Torrent's on its head, spinning in a dead circle, and you're halfway up the wall.
Yeah, this fight
because this turned
really
into a controversy, right?
Yeah, well, not really a
happened?
controversy, but like basically the double knockout. Well, it's very confusing because during the fight, I wasn't sure if Torrent was getting counted out, and I actually had to run over to the ref and be like, hey, are they getting counted out? This should not be considered motion under like the new motion rules or whatever. And I think what happened was Torrent got counted out after both of the unsticks were used, and then it went to obviously like the end of the fight, and then there was like a group of like 3 or 4 people that were meeting between the cages and the bowl, and they were like, I think they were deliberating if it was supposed to have been a double knockout or not, and then there was also some confusion on if Kevin had used his unstick or not, I believe, because he thought that Torrent was moving, but the ref thought that Torrent wasn't moving, and so Kevin like was forced to use his unstick by the ref or something like that. It was very confusing. But eventually it got determined that it was a double knockout, and then it went to judges the standard way.
Okay. So more chaos on the floor, but in reality kind of straightforward. Like the resolution made more sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty violent. It looked like it. Especially the arena.
So this is when we have discovered. No, the previous fight is when we discovered we had put the hollow shaft in, because at one point we had put the beater bar back together, and I took a screwdriver and I poked the hollow shaft, or I poked the shaft in the center, expecting to bottom out and be able to push it out. And to my surprise, the screwdriver goes all the way into the shaft, and I turn to Ezekiel and I go, "Did you put the hollow shaft in the robot?" And he goes, "Oh, that's why the robot was so much lighter." And so we go into the Torrent fight, and we're like, we literally don't have the time to find, the 30, 40, whatever grams we need to run front ends or anything like that. And so we just go, well, we have to run the hollow shaft because we didn't have time to swap out the weapon or, find that weight or anything like that. And we were just like, well, it got us this far. It can get us through another fight, basically. And
Dang.
so we made a banana, probably one of the worst shaft bananas I think I've ever seen in combat robotics.
Yeah,
It was,
The shaft is very, very bent.
So
yeah, I think it bent on both ends where it goes into the uprights. Both uprights have some minor wallowing, I believe, because of how the shaft bent. It was like, if Jake can pull up the picture, it was like, like a 20-degree bend on one side of the shaft. It's insane.
Man.
So
oh, sorry.
So
I was gonna say
so
it
you
bent-
got stuck and Torrent stopped moving simultaneously, is what it was.
Correct.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it was the same action that
Okay.
drove to the
Okay.
status of each robot, like which was the follow up. Like as you punch them they threw out, you also stuck in the wall in that process. So therefore it's
Yes.
simultaneous. Yes. Dang, that's rough. That
So because
I mean, impressive though, because again, like looking at it from like a spectator point of view, I was watching from all day. I wasn't in competition. I saw Torrent's half its drive go away, and it's hovering by its own drive torque or its weapon torque. And you had like the most unlucky position possible for an unstick. You're just being shoved into the corner more by the Brett or Fluffy, I guess, because you're so big.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, man,
is this
like
not,
you feel like you were winning though. But I
Oh,
think
is this
like the
not
bent shaft
considered
kind of changes
motion
it.
because he's pivoting?
It's not leaving circle of influence, I think, is what it is. I don't
Okay.
remember if that's
There's
still
also like
working.
a translation
Yeah.
requirement in the safety
Okay.
check anyway.
Okay.
Like, I forget
But
the exact
so-
number, but you have to travel across the box like that, which
Yeah.
obviously
And so we get stuck on the kick plate and we're trying to spin the weapon and the weapon is just going and we're like, okay, it's probably overheated. So I have Ezekiel turn the weapon off, and right as the other unstick is ending, I tell him to try to rip it again, and it's just doing that same thing. And so we just assumed Fly Color died on us. It did us a good service. It died. Approximately 2 days ago, I asked for the Fly Color so I could do
man.
some analysis on it because another robot was planning on running it. And I opened up the electrical tape, and lo and behold, one of the connections has in fact not become a connection anymore.
There's a bent shaft and the wire.
Cold solder
Yeah.
joint.
The cold
So-
solder
Cold
joint
solder
is what did us in.
So this would explain the the weapon just cogging.
Yeah, and so it's just cogging, and we're like, what's going on? The ESC must be dead. We plug it in after the fight, we give it some throttle, and it's just cogging the motor. And so we're like, okay, there's a dead phase. We don't have another motor, so we're just going to YOLO it and try another ESC.
So you're coming back upstairs after, I think this is the first bit that they do. So
Yeah, so we're coming back upstairs, and by this point, the shaft has come out of the robot shockingly well. Like it took almost no effort to get the shaft out. I just kind of plucked on it, and it fell out.
Oh, and Sam's showing
And I
you
look
on
at the
screen.
shaft, and I go, "Oh, this is the most destroyed shaft I've ever seen." And then we go, "Okay, well, we need to find weight for the solid shaft." And that's the end of that conversation. As the rest of the robot comes apart.
every time I
Um,
looked at your all's table, the robot was in like 10 pieces.
Yeah, like it feels like palpable panic looking at this, whether
So-
it's like in person or not.
It was really tough because there's a few things that line up badly. So number one, the weapon ESC is tucked directly underneath the weapon motor, which means the bottom plate has to come off to change the weapon ESC. Number two, obviously the shaft had to come out of the robot, and so that meant that the drive rails had to come apart. There was no way it was coming out all the way through. And it's a plus and a minus because it meant we could split the submodules up and work on them separately, but it also means there is a bajillion robot parts all over the table. And so we go, okay, test the weapon motor. We go onto the table behind us where Kevin just was with Torrent. We try to spin it up, and it just goes, and it just cogs. And so we go, okay, dead ESC. We don't have another ESC. What are we going to do? And one of our teammates, Josh, who runs Chaos Upright, comes up and is like, I got a Rhino 80 amp if you want to really try it. And we go, well, we've got no other options. And we
Right on my beloved.
Fun fact, the pins on an MR30 sort of fit into a 3.5 millimeter bullet connector.
This is true. This is true.
Sort of.
What?
If you put
This is true.
if you put a
You
male
gotta
bullet
force them
connector
together, but-
into
this is true.
but the weapon ESC that we've been given has female bullet connectors, and the weapon motor has a male MR60. So it's not a tight fit, and I put it on, and it's just kind of flopping around, and so we just tape it tight, and we just go, whatever, we've got no time, and we Twitch test it. We Twitch test it, and it's just going beep, 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 and I've never heard these tones before, and I managed to, through all the chaos, realize the ESC is boot looping. And so we rush back to the table, and we're like, what do we do? And I turn to Derek Tran, and I say one of the dumbest sentences I've ever said. And that sentence is, Derek, how do I fix a boot loop?
Derek.
And Derek goes, you've just asked me, well, I don't even remember what he said. He's like, you just asked me to cure cancer or something like that. Like, I just said the most ridiculous thing ever to him.
You asked a $1 million question.
And he goes, but I have an F100. And we go, sure, it's all we got.
You know what, sure.
Okay.
This is
We
the
tried-
this is the
tried
30th.
Mamba.
Sorry,
We tried
before the
Mamba
Rhino,
before
we
that.
tried putting a Mamba in, but every time
Wait,
we
I thought
turned
the Mamba
on-
worked.
No, the Mamba would trip the
Oh,
short
no.
stopper every time.
Oh no.
So like we plugged it in without the motor, turn it on, it's fine. We turn off the short stopper, plug in the weapon motor, turn it on, it trips the short stopper immediately. My theory as to what it was, and I don't know much about Castle, but the theory was the Mamba was in censored mode, and the phases were plugged in like ACB instead of ABC. And what I've been told is if you plug in ACB to a censored motor that's supposed to be ABC, it will just blow up the motor. And I'm guessing that's what was happening, but we didn't know that at the time. So we went, Mamba's out, Rhino in, Rhino's out, F100 in. At this point, we've been basically told, like, yeah, you have negative 10 seconds. And so we're soldering the power joint in, and Shri is like trying to flow the solder and it's not flowing. And I just go, screw this. I strand the wires together. I wrap them with electrical tape and just shove it in the robot. Let's go. And it worked.
Oh my gosh.
But
Aaron, you necromancer. I love it.
It's one of the most hack
So
job repairs I
insane.
think that's like ever happened. It was insane. I don't even remember how we got like the MR30 on the weapon ESC. It was horrible.
And the original ESC worked fine.
Yeah,
Yes,
we didn't have to
because
do all
just
that.
one
because
one
it
dead wire.
was wrapped with electrical tape, so we
Ow.
didn't check.
Yeah.
That's
And so
painful.
there were so many people that helped us that we have to thank. There was
It was like 20
Ayush.
people around.
Yeah, there were so many people. I'm gonna go off the list that I know.
every
There was Ayush, Dawn, Claire, Derek, Derek out of Narnia with the mini computer and A32
Showed up,
tool.
tried to help me. It was
Like,
great.
I mean, there was like team members that from us. There was some more people from Robo Jackets. I mean, there was like God knows everyone that just came and tried to help us out. So
I love that
Yeah.
so much. That's so good.
It's a testament to how awesome this community is.
yeah, I mean, we wouldn't have ever
Look
gotten
at the massive group of people going over the test game.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Yeah,
like, we need to see it going.
Shout out to Sting Up for getting stuck and telling us
Yeah,
a few
real.
times. It's a few more minutes.
4D
Yeah.
chess. 4D chess. We love it. There's the camera guy trying to get in there.
Yeah.
It's like box in the box. Everyone's sitting there tense,
Yeah.
focusing very tightly.
I was talking to the camera guy after everything was over, and I was like, you must have had a lot of fun filming that. And he's like, oh yeah, I live for the drama. Because he was like, there's like, I think 2 or 3 separate clips of us on stream, spaced out like 5 or 10 minutes. He was following us the entire time. I mean, that camera was glued to us. I need to see if I can get the footage from that, because it must have been incredible.
You heard the story.
So what is
No.
going on right now? So you just
So
I
this
just
is
went up
this.
to
We put the
weigh.
Rhino 80 amp in, It's not. Well, I tell Ezekiel, twitch the robot. It's not working. I open the cage and I hear the AM32 ESC just beeping repeatedly, and I go, I've never heard this tone before, and I just go, Derek, and he comes running over, and he goes, yeah, I've never heard this before, and I go, in my head, I'm just like, we're so screwed if he doesn't know. Then like, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
He's the whisperer. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we just happened to get lucky enough that I realized it was probably a.
There you are holding it like
it
a
was a
fish
consistent tone.
to ask.
Oh yeah,
Derek
it's so
what
easy to carry like a fish.
Wait. Look, here he comes.
I love it.
Good Derek, and he comes running over.
Yeah.
And then after all's said and done, we put the F100 in the
here's
robot.
Sting Up getting stuck twice to help you guys. Shout out
so
Sting
much,
Up.
Mark.
Thank you so much, Sting Up.
Yeah, because that
we
bought
put
you guys another
the
like.
raw F100
3
in. We
minutes.
put like a 40 amp current limit on it because it's got no heat sink and no programming.
Yeah.
We just go,
yep.
please don't die.
So all this is happening, and I've been running a hardened steel on my disc, I actually cut new weapons for this event. Both of them cracked, and I'm honestly done with the steel that I've been running. It's too hard. But both of them cracked against Riot and Infrared, and I didn't want to run. This is my disc, right? Because the disc I can't run for 3 minutes at 100%. So when I did my configuration sheet, I didn't do any of I didn't weight anything for the disc, right? So I put my robot together, it's sitting on the table, and I'm like, I should weigh this robot real quick before we go to fight Supernova. And I put it on the scale, and it's 12.1 pounds. And I'm like, oh no. So you guys are rushing in the background, and I was chilling for 45, 50 minutes, right? And all of a sudden, I'm 0.1 pounds overweight. So I go into fucking total panic mode because I've got a 1800 mAh battery and a 1550 mAh battery, which is the difference in weight between the disc and the key. So I'm like, okay, I got to get a 1550 in here. Well, it wasn't charged. It was just on storage. So
No.
I'm watching you guys put the robot back together, and I'm like, go see how good of a shape they're in. We might need more time. I put it on my battery charger, charging at 15 amps.
Brother.
Is totally
Bro.
irresponsible.
That's like a
And
bomb.
I'm like, so when you guys came over to the desk or to spin up, and you guys had your spin up problem, I was like, oh, thank God they need more time because I was grinding.
Jake is rooting on your downfall in real time. He's
Exactly.
actually rooting for the problem.
So it went from I was very chill, okay, I'm ready for Supernova, my robot's sitting on the table, to, oh my gosh, I need to lose a tenth of a pound immediately, right? So we were equally panicked going into that fight, and I didn't tell you that at all because I didn't want you to know about it because you guys seem so stressed already. I just did not want to add to it. So we're behind the bleachers, and we're both coming down from this panic. And you tell me about that experience because it was it was very emotional.
I think
It was
First
very
of all, I
emotional.
want to say
And that was the peak,
I don't even
right?
think my charger could do 15 amps.
I just turned it all the way up and then just sent it.
But so we're behind we're standing at the cage 2 queuing or cage 1 queuing area. And we're kind of all settling down from the panic, and it's kind of crashing down on me and Ezekiel both of how much everything just happened, how much help we got, the fact that we at this point in my mind, I have no idea that we've qualified the robot. Torrent just exploded us, and I'm just okay, we're in panic mode. And it's all just coming crashing down on us, and we are in shambles. For lack of a better description.
Yeah, it's all the emotions hit us at once. I didn't know what was going on anymore.
I think at one point I programmed your all's Mamba, and I go, "Okay, are you ready for our fight?" And you go, "Wait, we're fighting you." And that's when I realized you guys were so out of it. You guys were so lost. I was like, "Yep, yeah, bud, we'll get it together."
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Because I was just like,
"Oh,
we gotta
there-
fight the next fight. I think it's infrared, maybe. And then Jake is like, "Are you ready to fight me?" And I go, "Oh my god!"
So that's incredible that you guys were that lost in the sauce, and yeah, it speaks to how great the community is. That it's just like, okay, we're gonna see this robot all the way in the cage, and so by the time like we got to the cage and your all's weapon spun, I was so happy for you guys because I know like
Yeah,
how
I
hard
don't
it
think
was.
it's on camera.
But you
But
guys,
like the weapon spins up and we just absolutely go insane because
that-
we're like,
I wonder if
there's
it's on the
no
cage
way
side.
the weapon spun up. Because like we didn't have time to test the F100 after we put it in. We had to go, well, maybe it works.
It was definitely on stream, if I remember
oh
correctly.
yeah, no, you can see
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
The fight
Also,
hasn't
Darren,
even
you're wearing, like-
started yet.
Yeah, the
You
fight
guys-
hasn't even
yeah,
started.
right.
The people behind us, I
Are
have
like,
no idea
what
what
are
they've
you
seen on
talking
stream,
about?
but they're like, what are these people freaking out about?
They had no idea. We just spent the last 40 minutes going through absolute hell.
Oh.
So
Also, Darren,
so-
you're running like your camera on your foot. Is that like
Yes.
POV?
One of Ayusha's friends asked me earlier in the day if I wanted to do a headcam, and I was like, sure, why not? And I got the link for the footage, but I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. So
Okay.
this fight kind of sucks for me, but it sucks because I'm at 80% battery, or I don't know how much battery I have. So I'm just like,
Yeah,
undisclosed
I'm
amount,
very afraid.
So
that was
so
me like
this
turning
fight-
my weapon down because I'm like, they're like wounded and like I don't want to lose at all. And like you guys like gyroed over top of me twice. I'm like, all right, I'm not
Yeah.
having this at all.
And
so this
we load
this
the
is
robot
like
into the
a
cage.
trash fight.
we load the robot into the cage, and it drives to the corner. Great, we're like, oh yay, everything works. And then immediately one of the revets just like kicks the bucket, and we're down a
Ooh.
drive side.
That's
And we're
right.
just
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
well,
that's weird. Yeah, okay. 'Cause you
we're
guys
like,
made it to the
well,
corner
this is
fine.
the second time this has happened. So
Yeah, it's the second time a Revit has just completely died on us. It just happens randomly too.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
only part and funny part is
Ooh.
fire.
oh, that's a little too far.
Whoa.
Too far. Hang on.
That's gore.
But so
That's
the
boring.
current theory as for the fire is that the Revit decided it wanted to explode. And we're not sure how smoke came out the front because there was no like charring or anything at the front. So I assume it's just like the smoke got ducted forward. And so the theory is the Revit catches on fire and then it takes like one of the lipo cells with it, if even. They're just like really badly charred. And so when we're taking the robot apart, the reason I know the lipo still has charge in it is because I've been left outside with Ezekiel.
Oh,
There is
yeah,
nobody
this-
with us, and we have been given 0 safety tools. And so I grab the battery and I rip it out, and as it's coming out, there's a little spark and a little fire that just appears inside the robot as I'm ripping the battery out.
You just looked at each other, started laughing.
Yeah, the only funny part was Fluffy like pushing you into my weapon full feed.
Yeah, you got full feed.
I
on
did
the
not.
back of the
I
robot.
did not mean to hit you guys. I was just sitting there waiting, and Fluffy just shoved you into my fucking weapon.
That's right. The fire's
Oh,
after
yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have the robot on me.
Yeah. You should show them how bent the drive rail is.
Oh yeah, all right.
It's-
I didn't
been
mean to,
taco
guys.
to
I really
Narnia.
didn't mean to.
Oh, you're all good. So I have the robot right here. So look at this. It's like not even square anymore. This left side
Sorry,
is
guys.
peeled out.
Sorry.
The motors still spin.
A war wound there,
I
yeah.
thought they'd get like demagnetized or something, but they're fine. eventually, I want to take this rail out, and I think you deserve this rail.
I really don't. You should give it to whoever's flow. I just have to.
Is this like when Gwen was supposed to get the dumpster instead?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, well, congratulations on qualifying. Welcome to the 12-pound weight class. I cannot wait to see Supernova back, machined in all of its glory this December.
I mean, you still have one more fight yourself, though. Jake. You still have to fight Zeno.
I do have one more fight myself.
Yeah.
I guess our paths have converged. Okay, we finished the Supernova arc. So I go back upstairs after this fight, and I don't have any. So this is. Let me crank real quick. Okay, hang on. Let me change the topic. Small crank. Okay. The way, so I find myself in a fair amount of 12-pound finals, okay? And the dynamics of how that is like shaping out right now, like as far as like sporting is concerned, is if you go first in the semifinals, you have a huge advantage going into finals because you just get more repair time, right?
Right.
So and actually the last semifinals that I've been in, I think I've gone first almost every single time. So out of the past 5 events, I've made finals 4 times. So I'm kind of familiar with the game at this point. If you go second, you have like no repair time. Well, it's not that you don't have your guaranteed repair time; it's that your opponent has more. So when I went up, I saw Xenomorph like in pieces. He was configuring with like this massive baleen. I don't think he could have put that baleen on in 25 minutes, which is all the time that I had. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking about like as the sport progresses a little bit, like you're gonna have that highest level where people are trying to like min-max and be super competitive. If someone has a configuration that they can only throw on, but it takes 30 minutes to disassemble and reassemble their robot, like it's not fair to the person who goes second. You know what I mean? So I don't know if the solution is more repair time. In my mind, the weigh-in time should be 25 minutes after you get upstairs. So, a person should meet you at the door as soon as you come up. They should, or at your pit desk, they should say your time starts now, and then you got to weigh in by 25 minutes. That way it's fair between the 2 semifinalists. But that's someone who, that's like a very crank opinion from someone who's made an absorbent amount of finals at this point, and just like, I'm just like
as a perpetual winner,
as a professional winner. But you see what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah.
I've made the finals enough now that it's like, come on, like so I think. I don't know.
Yeah, nerf Jake. We're here.
The question is do you want repair time to be part of the game? Because like for me, like before Slam Plan, I had a Slam Plan config that took a lot of time to convert to. It was under 25 minutes. I knew it was under 25 minutes, but it was tight. But I requested that my semifinal be first because Tora was ready and I was ready, and I knew I would get more time on the back end. So it's kind of like
this feels like old
weird.
Man yells at clouds.
This might be too. This might be, and that's why the title of this segment is Small Crank. But so anyways, I go upstairs. He's throwing on this insane thing, and as soon as I saw it, that's hats off to David. As soon as I saw it, I knew I had lost the final because it is so perfectly well engineered to fight my robot. It is like hellish. I don't know what I'm gonna do about it yet. I have a solution for fighting Baleens.
Dang.
I actually left it at home, so that's skill issue on my part.
So Xeno's just like juggling you.
Yes,
well, he was juggling you at the beginning of that fight for sure.
My mentality going into this was the longer the fight went on, the longer the fight goes on, I think the better I was gonna do. I almost got really lucky there, and he almost went.
I watched that.
He almost went to the blender there. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I got really sad there. Yeah, I got.
Yeah,
really
you're
sad.
fighting Xenomorph, really big vertical spinner,
Yeah.
big Bailey. It's designed for you right now.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
this is
100%
my
is made to
nightmare.
fight you.
Yes. Yeah. It's everything that I'm bad at fighting. But I know that the longer the fight goes on, the better my chance gets. Right. I put on my small like TPU cutting blade, so my robot only weighs 11 pounds in this fight, which is kind of insane. And so that gives me overhead as far as like thinking about fighting this robot in the future, and fighting Balines in the future. I've got a full pound to play with to configure against this going forward, which is nice to know.
I think you'll need it because
I think I will.
like before, like you said before Supernova, you fought Infrared, other back
Yeah.
to be.
Yep.
Also, big wide vert.
Yep.
That was punching you for a while before
Yep.
you managed to shred it a bit more.
Yep.
And that got you a W there. But Xeno is like a more prepared, bigger version of it.
Yes. Had Infrared had this config, I would have been totally hosed. Right. It would have been like
been bad.
Yeah. Instead of a fight that could have gone either way, totally on Infrared.
Looks like stuck in the wall too.
Yeah. You're never gonna believe this. So I'm very excited for the day when they try another wall material. This I had a moment where I was winning this fight, and then it faded pretty quick. After I got stuck in the wall, I just kind of like lost pacing and then never regained it. And then I get thrown into the wall one more time. I wasn't in the wall that time; I was just on top of it. But I can't control the robot at this point, and then he throws me into the wall, and then it's GG's. So I need to figure out how to configure against these Balines. But honestly, at this point, going into this fight, I did not care because as long as the drive motors didn't fail, it was all good, dude. I did not mind one bit because the drive motors broke.
It's a little weird.
Happy. So I was happy to make finals, and I was happy that I haven't been.
They're probably all visible ones. Each other right now. That's so crazy.
I'm not sharing the fight. Oh dear God. All right. Well, yeah. So I was just happy that I ended up. The drive side didn't fail. That was it. So there you go.
Oh,
There you go.
there we go.
Range. Okay, I can hear stuff now.
I can hear stuff now too.
Have I been ranting? Have I
Got
been ranting to
deafened.
myself?
A little, yeah. We only just heard you now.
Yeah.
Oh well, I just did a great monologue about the fight versus Xenomorph. Then
Hey, that's great. I'll keep it in the cut.
I'm like, wow, this they really got nothing for me. All right.
Oh, we
yeah.
didn't hear you.
It's fine. Like last thing I heard was if Infrared had this config.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
same.
Okay. Yeah, if Infrared had this config, then yeah, I would have been definitely hosed. At a certain point, I am winning, and that's because there's like a tiny chunk of TPU that's like he gets stuck on himself, and I say, let me help you with that, big dog, and then I like pick his teeth for him. So like he's getting stuck on himself there, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, big dog, you're getting stuck on your own
Like Nate the
TPU.
Hoof guy or
Here.
whatever.
Let me extract that chunk that you're
Wow.
getting stuck on, and then I realize what I did, and then I get
Punished.
just punished in the corner. Yeah.
Oh,
I lost pacing after that, and then it was after I got stuck in the wall. I lost pacing, so I'm very excited for them to try a different wall material.
me too.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I think for 12 pounds it will just help with pace of play, like with Verts getting stuck on it. It's like your fight had pace of play issues.
Oh yeah.
Like the final had pace of play issues because I got stuck, and it's just kind of like, again, small crank, but yeah, I'm excited for them to explore different wall options. I know it's my fault because I made the blade super sharp, but come on, man. So yeah, any ideas for fighting a Baleen? Please share.
Just break the weapon, dude.
The only stiff part, I guess. Only place like the energy can go through.
I think the
much.
most shocking part about the Xeno everything to me is that it's all high speed CPU. I
Really?
refuse to believe
Yeah.
that.
Huh.
Yeah.
So
Um,
more. So the answer is just more everything. That's what I'm
Yeah.
hearing.
I mean
Okay.
like
Yeah.
because Comet also got a trophy from Xeno. And I picked it up and I looked at it and I went, this is high speed TPU.
Yeah.
And I'm beyond shocked because every experience I've had with high speed TPU in combat has just been it shreds and it cracks immediately, and that's exactly what happened to this. But because the armor on Xeno is just so thick, it really seems to actually work out for it.
I felt like the high speed CPU helped him because it was stiffer on the rake of the Baleen.
Yeah, I think
maybe.
it's because like
And
high
so-
speed TPU as conventional armor is terrible, but if you
Yeah.
design around its properties, it seems to actually be really good.
I go, how long did it take you to print those? He goes, 2 days each side.
Dang.
So, shout out David and he didn't even get, oh my gosh, he didn't even get into the competition until Lord Legolas dropped out. Shout out Lord Legolas.
Oh my god.
You would have won a dumpster.
That was your
but
40.
This
Trying
was
to
your
help him.
fight to win. This was your
You're trying
fight
to
to
help
win.
Legolas too. That's the irony.
I think Legolas would have made it to the same position and beat me had he been in. It would have been a direct 1-1 swap. So he gave up a dumpster, really. You think about
Yeah.
it. If you think about it. All
Congrats,
right.
Jake. You got
Yeah,
congrats
yeah.
to you guys as well. You still got into Pro Tour and camps and all that.
This is true.
I'm just happy I made another finals. Honestly, it feels really good to have 4, like out of the past 5 events, 4 finals. Feels amazing, and no drive problems. Shout out Gwen for building those motors with me. So that was the silver lining of the weekend. Was like I was just glad to qualify, make it to finals. Everything past that's like I like coming in second, man, because you get the same amount of fights and you get to learn a lot. So you get to lose to a really strong opponent. So I don't mind second place at all. So shout out David for winning. Shout out Supernova for qualifying.
Yep.
But yeah.
Shout out, shout out to Prom Hedda. Prom Hedda beat up Kilojoule.
Everyone was too mean to Kilojoule, and now we're all hosed. Now we're all dead.
Rest in peace, Kilojoule, for its sacrifice.
It
What was
died
the
so
last
everyone else could die
Kilojoule
for
fight?
it.
We need to get this man medicated.
What?
Oh,
Oh man!
It was you.
It was my fault.
Hey, Jake, you were part of it. You were part.
I
of
was
it.
a part of the
Kilojoule.
problem.
full circle.
Why was I so mean? Be careful who you bully, guys. Be careful who you bully.
Dang.
Because he put Kilojoule and made it a vert, and now it's terrifying. Why does
Full
he eat the
circle.
wall there?
Why do you eat the wall, bro? Come on.
Kilojoule was really so cool. I liked the orange blade. I was a huge Kilojoule head when I was like first starting out. Here, wait. Have you seen that really old photo with me and David? It was the first fan photo that I took at NHRL.
Really?
It was a big
What else was-
Kilojoule head. Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of full circle moments that have happened here in this Xeno Maximizer rematch.
You know, the older we get, Brandon, the more full circle.
Wow, you were so young.
It's such a good photo.
It's such a good photo. Look how confused I look. I have no idea that 3 years later he'd be kicking my ass.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. Congratulations again, David. Excellent work.
Oh wow! Remember the bot museum?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rip. Yeah, that was
So
cool.
outside of this, there's also a lot of what is it? Questions in the Discord. From
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
as well. And I hit a couple of them already just by talking through in the event. there are like a couple other ones here too, like about the future primarily for sure. Let me read. Gwen's question is: during the Minibot mercenary days and recent escapade Brendo, what would you say has been the key to matching so many driver partners, both in terms of match strategy and bot fundamentals? And then for Ezekiel, you can think about this one too. I hear you spent quite a lot of time in Washburn, but Darren is now working yourself machining parts for course things to learn across the machining parts for combat. That's a based on what you knew going into it.
Yeah. So for being I think part of my adaptive driving style has just come from the amount of fights I've been around for and like drive coached, and I think it might also come a little bit from high school driving. Because I drove my high school FTC robot, so I got used to kind of working on somewhat of a team. And I think a little bit of that has carried over, but also I think when I'm driving a multi-bot with somebody, it just usually happens that I get lucky and I have a similar-ish driving style, especially like with Julian. I think we're both more aggressive drivers. But I'm usually, I think, the first one to take the step back and let my co-driver take the brunt of the engagements and stuff like that. And I think that has been really valuable, and it ends up with us getting tangled in each other a little bit less.
Yeah, and I guess to talk about machining, so we did spend a long time in Washburn. I can't even count the amount of hours that we spent in there for, I guess, both runs of this robot. Just, it's crazy. But I guess going into it, I had machined some 3-pound parts. I had machined some parts for Waddles. But, you know, the difference here is that, like, on Waddles, you have a team of people that's like more than 2 people working on a robot at once. And on a Beetle, a lot of the parts are small. You can kind of crank those out. But on a 12, it's like this kind of perfect medium where you, well, not perfect in the sense that like it's great.
Medium.
It's the worst of both worlds.
It's the worst of both worlds in that you have to do a lot of machining. Since there's only 2 of you, you have to split all the parts of the robot up in half, or I guess in our case, how that shook out with the beater bar, and then Jaren having to machine the whole half of the robot, and then this time around me having to machine a lot of the robot. It strikes. It's this kind of thing where it's like there's just a lot more work that goes into it from an individual like perspective, as opposed to like on like a 30-pounder where you have a lot more people on. Well, specifically our 30-pounder, there's a lot more people on it.
With Supernova,
that was interesting.
Sorry,
no, you're good.
I was gonna say with Supernova, you know, I've had my hands on every single part of the robot in some degree or another, and same goes for Ezekiel. But with like the larger like Waddles, you know, I pretty much stay kind of stuck in my own little area. I do like a little bit of work on the undercutter, or like a little bit of work on the drive, but it's so much more distributed with these larger robots. Whereas with us, you know, we've got to we are everything of the robot basically. So
solid stuff.
So I guess the time commitment is the surprising thing about it.
Yes, it always is. Like I think this would be, you know, X distant. It's like double that easy every time.
Yep.
Yeah, it feels like we went in there all like starry and bright-eyed, going like, we can actually just do this in 7 weeks, and then we come out as like old men, and we're like, holy crap! All this.
Also, there was
like 50 hours in the machine shop.
It's a good robot. You know, you made like a square box. I'm sure you could do it in like a night, but this is like a very cool machine. So, want to give props to that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Sort of putting a couple different questions together from like Connor and Alex and Anthony and others. What's the future for your Beetles, Red Panda and Blink?
I guess since Blink is competing at this next event, I was originally going to do RCE, but I want to like graduate, right? So I've been putting a little bit more time into that. And in terms of Blink, I've had my ups and downs with that robot. It likes to not particularly work. So this, depending on how this goes, this may be its last event. And I want to try a different beetle going forward. Don't know what that is yet, but we'll see. We'll see what happens at the end of May.
Red Panda is kind of on hiatus indefinitely. It's dependent on a lot of things. I think one of the big ones right now is with Supernova qualifying for finals. If Blink also qualifies for finals, it will make finals a nightmare if I also qualify with Red Panda. And so, like, I think part of it hinges on that. I think part of it hinges on, staying with the prioritization of like school and life and stuff like that. I have been floating around the idea in my head of like a cheap 12-pound robot to just kind of mess around with, or like a few other beetles that I've looked at concepts of. But, Red Panda went out last time it fought in essentially a pair of fires. And that was not the cheapest way to get knocked out of a tournament. So it's kind of like at a low volume of parts and motivation and whatnot like that. So
Solid stuff. We're taking another couple of questions and slapping them together really fast. What are some big takeaways you noticed from the sport coming out of it? So, like Anthony made a note here about infrared, more big reach for versus your bars that you have, and then a smaller, tighter, full diverts that most WPI tends to have. What do you see the future for them being like? Is it change away from verts, reach verts?
I think reach verts have always definitely had their like certain matchups where they're like super dominant. I mean, we've definitely seen it with like Prince, because I consider Prince one of the more like original like big reach verts that have been around for longer. And so it's definitely shown how big reach vert can have a huge upper hand. But on the other hand, at least for like small like beater bars like Supernova, sometimes it's just like hard to beat that like high speed, low to the ground, super high inertia beater bar in some of the engagements. I think it's really a toss up. I think unfortunately reach verts are just going to start making smaller horizontals extinct, or not extinct, but like it's going to be a lot harder for them to deal with such a intense vertical spinner.
So small reach horizontal, you say? Certain maximizer. Anyway,
I don't know
We'll
about
see.
that one. We'll see.
I mean, it's got a reach when you think about it, but also, all right. So last question for both of you, then we'll probably end it out there. So we're going pretty long. Question from Gwen: you have $20 budget. What do you get?
Is this where I could use my one F-bomb?
PG-13.
You go, Ezekiel.
So mine's gonna be a little boring because I've never actually been to a Wawa before. So I'm not really sure. That doesn't. I don't think there's one up here, Mass, nearby. I don't think so. So I've never, not even on like my way down to Norwalk or anything. No.
I think
Sorry,
the
Gwen.
only time I've ever been to a Wawa was with Gwen at a G-Scroll where we sprinted across the 4-lane highway to get to it.
They're primarily located in New Jersey and Florida, so that's quite
Florida.
So they serve the worst people, and they just
That's a crazy bar.
Say that.
There's like 4 Wawas near me. It's crazy.
What? Come on. We just got one here in like Cincinnati, Midwest. So there's a couple in Indianapolis, Cincinnati. So okay, 3 areas.
I would probably just get the same smoothie that I got when I was around with Gwen, because that smoothie in the insanely hot greenhouse at Ideal Farms really hit hard.
Look at that map. Yeah.
Jake, I hope you don't dox yourself by doing this.
What do you mean?
You know what?
I live in Cincinnati, located near the Wawa.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is what I mean when I say it serves
Oh.
the worst people in our country. Cincinnati, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky, Indianapolis, New Jersey, and
Oh.
Florida.
Yeah, I don't see any
That's-
of.
That's a mess. You're right.
No.
No,
Man.
unfortunately.
Well,
Because like
That
this
was
is
still pretty
Sheets
good.
territory
Okay.
over here. This is Sheets land.
that's true.
And if you're
That's
at a-
like Team Defective's like whole thing.
yeah. That's Sheets territory. And if I stop at a Valero, you're way off the tracks, dude. Never stop at a Valero. I got a Valero that I stop at on my way back to Louisville. It's called Cowboys. Anyways. All right, I think that's going to close out the stream, guys. Thank you for being on the stream. Supernova, a fraught event that was amazing to see you guys pull through with the power of perseverance, teamwork, and all that positive stuff. Congratulations on qualifying from all of us here at Behind the Bots. Thanks. Have a good night.
Thank you
for having
guys.
us.